Hi guys, how are you doing today? So I'm super excited but kind of nervous for this video because I have the new Subculture palette from Anastasia, and I was just really drawn to this palette because it's so unique, it's so different. I follow Norvina on Twitter and she called it intimidating but sexy. I can't even remember her exact description, but it was totally like, yes, I see it. Someone called this the Harry Styles of eyeshadow palettes, and I was like, yes, sold, I will buy it. I totally see that, even though it's so weird. So here's what the inside looks like. It's so beautiful, it's so different, it's so inspiring. I love the colors. The reason why I'm nervous. So there's been some really good reviews, but there's also been some really bad ones, and they tend to always be people with hooded eyelids. Everyone that I've seen so far, I believe his name is Donovan Gibb, maybe? Gibb? I'm not sure if that's his last name. Alyssa Ashley. I saw someone else too, I can't remember who, and they were saying that it was skipping on their crease and stuff, and I could totally see where it was going wrong. So I'm very scared, and I saw someone else say that it depended on what eyeshadow base you used. So I don't know why. I've never used this before. I was trying it out today, but I used the Total Coverage Concealer from ABH Cosmetics as an eyeshadow primer, and then I set it with the Anastasia Contour Kit. I'm just going to go ahead and do one eye to begin with, just because I want to see how it performs. I paid for this myself. I really want it to work, so let's cross our fingers. Okay. So I'm going to start off with the shade Roxy, which is so beautiful. It's this one right here, and I'm using a Morphe G24. Okay, so I zoomed you guys in, that way you can see better. I'm sorry for not doing that before I started, but here's the shade Roxy, and I almost feel like I can see it skipping right here. But then at the same time, I'm just like, maybe I need to blend more, maybe I'm being paranoid. Which, if I have enough time, my son's sleeping right now, I'll try and like start over and use a different eyeshadow base if I have to. I'm gonna go into Fudge, which is like this deep brown shade right here, and a Morphe G13. So it's very pigmented. I think I definitely went in with a little more product than I could have. Okay, I'm gonna go back into that original brush and just try to blend the edges. I just feel like it really doesn't look pretty. Like, it's kind of hard to describe the way it looks right now, but it looks really dirty. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you guys in as close as I can. And I don't know if you can tell, but do you see how dirty it looks? Like, that just looks awful. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Nars eyeshadow base. I'm currently going cruelty free, so I'm not buying anything new that's not cruelty free, so I won't be buying any more Nars, but I am using up what I already have, which is why I'm using this. This is actually a really good eyeshadow primer, so let's try this one out. And then I'm just gonna set it with my Wet n Wild face powder, just because my eyes are pretty red and there's no shade in the palette that matches my skin tone. So this time I'm starting off with this shade right here, which is called Dawn. I'm using a brush from the Morphe That Bling brush set. This is pretty light, like especially for me to say it's light because I'm so pale. So I don't see this showing up that well on a lot of people. Okay, so now I'm going into Roxy again. Okay, it definitely looks a little more pigmented this time on top of this eyeshadow base. Okay, and I'm going into Fudge again just a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna go back and blend the edges. I'm going to take a little bit of Fudge, just whatever's left over on the brush, and just bring that onto the lower lash line just a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and take Rowdy, which is this dark purple. I'm just putting this into my outer V. Okay, that is blending so weird. Tell me you guys just saw that. Did you see that just like disappear from this area? I'm going to try and add a little bit more. I feel like I'm blending normal, but it's making it overblend. Like when I'm trying to blend this more, it's literally just wiping it away. I'm going to go in with a little bit more Fudge over this, just to See if that helps blend it some. Okay, I'm gonna try All Star, which is like this matte purpley pink. Looks like this. I'm just gonna layer some of that over it too. Okay, so I'm not super happy at this moment. I feel like it doesn't necessarily look horrible, but it's also not like up to the standard that I would want it. I feel like right here it's blending a little weird. So see that just right there, it does not have color. So I'm like, maybe if I just keep trying different eyeshadow bases, I'll find one that works. I don't know. I really want this palette to work for me. So I'm going to go into the shade Electric right here, and I'm going to put that onto my lid. And I have seen complaints about this not being pigmented enough. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to spray my brush. It is a really pretty, like, unique shade, but I just feel like I'm, like, having to work so hard. Okay, I'm going to go in with some more of Rowdy, just trying to make it work. Trying to fix this spot where it's not adhering. I think maybe with this you just need to blend less. Like, that looks fine when I'm barely touching it. Okay. I'm still going to go in and fix this edge right here, though. Man, I just messed it up again. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this side and just try a few more shades. This isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but I'm also not, like, overjoyed with it either. I'm going to go ahead and take Edge, which is this, like, bright yellow shade, with a Sephora Pro Crease number 10. Just going to put this in my crease. That's so pigmented. And it is skipping all over. Oh my gosh, you guys. Kind of wishing I watched, like, well, I mean, I watched as many reviews were available, but I'm kind of wishing I waited before purchasing this, because this is frustrating. I want it to be good, but it's skipping. Now I'm going to go in with New Wave, which is this orange shade. I'm just packing that kind of underneath, but basically the same spot. I'm just making this really nice and smoky and blown out because honestly I'm just playing, so may as well go all out, right? I guess that one doesn't look as bad. Now I'm going to go into the shade Destiny, which is like this olive right here. And I think I'm going to do this on the inner corner and the outer corner. But still, this one part of my eye right here, it's huge right here. It just doesn't have as much color. You guys see that? And I mean, I'm not by any means saying that I'm like the queen of blending and that I like know everything that I'm doing. But, I mean, I know how to blend an eyeshadow, so it's not me. Alright, I'm going to go in with the shade Axis, which is like the dark blue shade. I'm going to go into my Sephora brush and just try and blend all that out. So I'm really not happy with this, the way it looks at all, actually. Like, I think this looks horrible, but I'm going to take the shade Adorn, which is the copper, and just put that down the middle of my eye. Okay, that's a little more pigmented. Okay, I'm going back in with a little bit more New Wave. Just trying to blend this out, but oh my gosh. Guys, I'm not feeling this. Try to use the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot as a base this time for this eye. See if that helps at all. Okay, and then I think I'm just going to go in with a little bit of translucent powder to set that instead of my face powder, just so it's even thinner. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so here we go again. I'm going to start off by using the shade, what shade? I'm going to use Mercury. I haven't used that yet. This one right here, and a Morphe 505, and just try to blend that into my crease. Okay, so there's how that one's blending. I just feel like these look kind of messy. Like I'm trying so hard, just not doing anything for me. I'm gonna take the Morphe M443 and I'll take the shade Untamed, which is the it's like another green shade. I'm just gonna try and put this actually I'm gonna try to do like a smoky eye look. Put this all over my lid and into the crease. Just do this really like soft. Okay, so this one isn't as bad. I feel like it looks kind of like a grungy smoky eye. Probably grungy because it's not perfectly blended. But I don't hate this look. This one's a little better, yeah. And then I'm just going to go in with Axis, the darker shade, and just kind of put that on the like lower part of my lid. Just for a little extra oomph. Okay, so this spot right here is messing up just a little tiny bit, and I think that's because my eyes are watering. But that was a little bit better. Using the MAC paint pot was not as bad. Last but not least, I'm going to do one more look. I'm using the NYX eyeshadow base in the shade, I believe it's just called White. Just looks like this, and I'm going to put this all over my eyelid. And I'm setting it with a translucent powder. Okay, so I'm going to go into the M505 again because I kind of wiped it off, and I'm just going to try and do a really nice warm look. I'm going to start off with Roxy again. Let's see. I'm going to take Roxy along the lower lash line too. So far, I think this one actually looks the best. That NYX eyeshadow base. But let's see when we add other colors on top. I'm going to go into New Wave. And just kind of put this all over the lid, I guess. And just blending that into the crease a little. That one again looks really nice. So far, I'm definitely liking the NYX eyeshadow base the best. But honestly, what I keep thinking in my head is, for a $42 palette, I shouldn't have to like readjust which eyeshadow primer I'm using. I should just be able to use whatever I want. For a drugstore palette, I would understand for like a lower price point. But for this, I feel like it's just a little temperamental. And I think that the formula is just not as good as it needs to be. If it's going to make you, like, I just think it should work for everything. I've never had an eyeshadow palette where I'm like, okay, let me go through every eyeshadow base that I have to see which one works. You know? I'm just taking whatever's left over and blending above to add that extra yellow emphasis. I mean, I like that one. I think it looks so much better. Okay, I'm going to take that same brush. This is the Sigma E25. And I'm going to go into Fudge now. Oh man. Fudge just, okay, I ruined it. That totally messed it up. Fudge just like, it just blended out everywhere basically. Look how much follow there is too. Oh, that looks so bad. Dang it. Okay, let me just do a little wipe. Dang. Alright, let me go back in with more Roxy. Okay, last but not least, the only color I haven't used is Cube. And I'm just going to do a little pencil brush from e.l.f. Take this shade. It's not showing up that pigmented. I think I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of Cube on my fingertip just because it is duochrome and pat it across the lid. Even like, just like wiping it away, it just made it look even worse and weird and like caught onto the little things, which normally wiping away an eyeshadow doesn't do that. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to take a little bit of Electric and put it on my inner corner here. Okay, so this video didn't quite turn out like the way I thought it was going to. I was going to do one eye, do a tutorial, do the other off camera, finish my look, but honestly, I'm just really unhappy. I think it looks really bad. I don't recommend it. I'm going to keep playing, but maybe give it a few more days, and if not, I'm going to contact them and see if I can return it, or like look up what their return policy is, because this is just awful. I mean, honestly, like, not worth $42. Not at all. And the Modern Renaissance is so much better. So regardless, I hope you guys still enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.